Hello, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Crossings Into the Light. I am Darrin.
I'm James.
And I'm Kayla.
No Aaron today.
No Aaron today.
no
We're
Aaron.
starting to think that maybe me and Aaron are the same person because Batman and Bruce Wayne are never seen in the same place, and it's been a
Right.
while.
Yes.
So today, we'd like to put a word out there for Aaron. Hey, get better, and we'll see you hopefully next weekend on the 30th, because that 30th is going to be a
busy day.
It's going to be a busy day, but it's going to be an excellent show.
Absolutely.
So
this is kind of like the teaser to that show.
This is
It's
the
like
teaser. This is part one. Next week is part two.
Yes.
So I'm sure everybody in the audience has heard us talk about the Klondike, the infamous Klondike.
Absolutely.
How we've gone. We've had dinner. We've had lunches. We've gone and we've talked to them. The owner, Holcomb Wallace, great guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's basically just
Very down to earth kind of a guy, really.
very, very down to earth.
Very nice, very caring.
Yeah.
And the food's really good. So if you get a chance, we're going to plug it real quick. Here we go. Non-sponsored plug. We ain't getting paid for this. Go to Spirit of Halloween Town in St. Helens, Oregon. Go down to the big yellow building. There's food. There's drink inside. Go inside, eat, drink.
Be merry.
Be merry. Support local businesses.
Absolutely.
The food is to die for. The company is to be not to be missed.
Absolutely.
And, of course, the fact that the building is haunted.
Very haunted.
So how could you not go wrong with that one?
Yeah.
Great
Food,
staff, great food,
drinks,
great drinks,
and
haunted building.
And get your scare on.
Get your scare on, yeah.
Right.
So, what was that? Was it Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes.
Well, I guess we ought to backtrack just a second. So, last night was the first night of... we've been helping out the shoestring players with a project at the Klondike.
Absolutely.
Last night was the first night. We were down in the basement. They do a scripted walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 20 minutes, they're in the basement with us.
Which is awesome.
And we basically kind of run a miniature, super mini paranormal investigation for the public. Last night we had equipment failing, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
You felt drained too.
Totally felt drained. Batteries drained. Equipment not working. SB7's not working after a while. But then they worked outside.
Right afterwards.
Yeah. So the precursor to last night's video, which will be shown next week. Most of the stuff that we're filming, that goes on for the next 2 weekends. So tonight we've got another two shows. Even though I don't like the word show, but it's their show, and
Then it's us.
Then it's
so
us.
it's part show, part paranormal investigation, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and like last night, you let everyone know we don't do scripted
This isn't
stuff.
scripted.
This is not,
it's
all
real
life in the now.
Yeah, everything up to this point has been scripted. Everything when you walk around this corner is not.
Yep, exactly.
But so we had dress rehearsal last Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Even though technically they showed up late, so we didn't really have rehearsal. What we did was we went and we interviewed Holcomb for the show, which is what you'll see next week. See that full interview next week, and probably some of the clips that we get between here and
here and there. Yeah, we'll add some clips and some more photos, because I know we're not going to get to all of those photos today.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So we interviewed Holcomb because Saturdays are just busy for him.
Absolutely.
Because
of Halloween Town.
Yeah, Spirit of Halloween Town is just, they're busy. We went and there was a little bit of a food mix-up, which we don't blame them.
No.
They were very gracious.
Absolutely.
Gave us replacements where needed. It was understandable. It was a busy day for Halloween Town.
I got to eat my food twice.
Yes.
Lucky you.
And it's good food, so
absolutely.
There you go.
It's a plus.
But so no, we did the interview, and then Holcomb let us go upstairs, which
Well, and before that, even before we did the interview, Aaron and I was doing a setup, for the show, and Holcomb had a meeting he had to go to, and he let Aaron and I alone in the
Which
restaurant,
is so cool.
we're like,
what do
go
we do?
ahead, be my best. We're like looking at each other like kids in a candy store. Who does that?
Well, it just shows that we've already gained some big time trust.
Absolutely. So we're setting up and playing around with the SLS, and Aaron was doing some audio, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah, he could have kicked you
Yeah,
out. He didn't have to
absolutely.
take us upstairs. Didn't have to take us in the basement.
I mean, to give us the trust to basically, in a sense, have the run of the whole building, but obviously we weren't going to. Obviously,
Right.
being respectful, we wouldn't have been able to get up to the top 2 stores anyway because
Yeah.
that door was locked. But just like you said, it shows how much respect we're getting.
We're gaining, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we're giving respect and we're getting respect in return for it.
Exactly.
Because it is his place and we just want to help him.
Yep.
And me being born and raised in St. Helens, my whole entire family basically wanting to bring the downtown back to life.
Mhm.
Like I've already told him before, I said, listen, Holcomb, if there's any way we can help you establish yourself and get on the ground running and so that you prosper through your endeavors, we're all for that.
Yeah.
I mean, my cousin's the mayor. My sister-in-law works for City Hall. She's in charge of a lot there. My brother's a parole officer. We all want to see St. Helens come back to life.
Yeah.
Because St. Helens has such a long history. Little pause there. I was going to put in Twisted. That stuff we'll have to get to later. But I think so far in October, you guys have talked about it. There was me being downtown for the mayoral race, which I lost.
Sounds like you lost big
Yeah,
too.
you had fun though. It was fun.
It was
all in the fun
fun.
of the
It was fun. I had ended up writing in chalk around my booth, talking about don't vote for the pirates, and I spelled pirates. No pirates, but I spelled pirates rats.
Yeah.
I left out the E, and of course I got called out. And I'm like, no.
It's on purpose.
It's on purpose.
Yeah, right.
You're not pirates, you're pirates.
Yeah.
It's all part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But so, yeah, because the one thing that we've discussed before is how much Columbia County has had issues.
Right.
We've had murders, we've had hangings, we've had the shipyard fires of 1904, and I mean, if you go down to St. Helens and you look out on the riverfront there's that beautiful island out there that was never there until somebody started dredging up the river to make the channel wider. And ironically, yeah, they had to put it somewhere, but ironically, it was a Portland-based company putting all the dredgings. If you go up and down the river, I've stayed on a few when I've been out kayaking. A lot of those dredge islands happen to have been in any port where there was lumber, shipbuilding, commerce. That suddenly there's an island out front of their place where they can't bring boats in and out. They can't build boats because
they were strategically placed.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yes, I believe that they were.
Yeah.
Portland knew what they were doing because, I mean, we did have the suspicious fire of 1904 that burned down all the docks and the shipping yards and the boat yards, and then you've got these islands popping up. So now you look at the fact that Portland is the place for all your shipping needs.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to ask the hard question of, okay, coincidence?
I think not.
Nope.
No way.
But anyway, so we do have a video of one of your SLS clips.
Mm-hmm.
So
we got the Russian roulette. Whichever video pops up, we're gonna go with.
We've given our producer full reign to mess with us. So he's gonna grab a video at random, and we'll watch it, then we'll discuss it.
Yeah. It's all right.
Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Thought we would break out some of our paranormal equipment. This is a K2 meter, so if there's any spirits here that would like to communicate with us, you could use this device by getting close to it. And if you do,
For some reason, the audio is playing, but the video is not. So let's try a different one.
Okay.
Just for
So-
shits and giggles here.
While we're getting this taken care of, I did actually in that meeting on Wednesday with Holcomb. I never knew that the main hotel was actually the Opera House, and it was moved to that location. Never knew that. till
Yeah,
then.
I had just learned that myself.
Yeah, I'm just hearing this for the first time.
Yeah,
So that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that was right after the 1904 fires.
Mm. And he said it was right there in that courthouse, right, or the courtyard area.
Yeah, the courtyard right next to where the Klondike really is, because the Klondike's the annex. It was built in 1910.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like he was saying that he wants us call the patio area the ghost of the St. Helens Hotel.
For some reason, the MOV files aren't working, but the MP4s are. So those are.
course.
I think those ones are from you.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and play it.
All right.
Mornings and afternoons.
on the third floor. And it's been 4 years today.
Technically, we're supposed to be downstairs for rehearsal.
Yeah. 4 years ago today.
Anybody want to say anything?
So what are we looking at here, actually?
This is the second floor, and we're kind of walking around. These are all the old hotel rooms, and yeah, we're just kind of just running some equipment through.
Okay.
See
Okay.
what we could find.
I'll keep it
Say
going.
anything?
And here we are, me, James, and Darrin. I did an interview with Holden, the owner, and the Klondike. And now we're done with the interview, so now we're up here on the third floor, trying to make communication with any spirits that may be out here. And
Not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe the spirits are being weird.
Probably.
Probably.
Let's see here. Let's see if we can do some more here. Let's see. I can play it here for you. Let's try to make it bigger. Oh, that's not what we wanted. I wanted this. There we go. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that video muted a little bit because otherwise it's gonna feedback
Alright.
too much.
Okay.
So-
Yeah. So I mean, you can kind of see that the walls are not exactly the greatest. This is up on the third floor.
Which seemed more complete than the
Which,
second floor.
yeah, the second floor they were actually trying to remodel to bring it back,
Right.
and then they ended up just scrapping the project in the 60s and closing the whole thing down. Yeah, the
That's room 310 right
yeah,
there.
that's room 310, the one that 4 years ago we had the
The
we called
chalk.
it the chalk. We called it the chalk room. When we were in there, the chalk was rolling around on the seat,
Mhm.
and Aaron was actually leading us as a fundraiser.
The fundraiser, yeah.
And as the chalk was rolling around, I was running thermal, didn't see the chalk move. He asked, "Did anybody see it?" And on the EVP later on, when I listened,
Mhm.
you hear it was me in a man's voice.
Right.
Now, I don't think we've talked about the legends here of the hotel, but room 310 apparently is one where I know we talked about it a little bit with Holcomb. You've got the prostitute. Her husband comes to find her, confronts her and the client. Story 1, he shoots the wife, shoots the client. Those are the spirits that are still in the room.
Story 2.
Story 2 is the minister comes to break things up. The husband ends up shooting the minister and the wife and the man. So all three are supposed to be.
Which one would be more believable? I would almost say the first one. Well, because why would he shoot the minister? What,
No witnesses. I
Apparently
don't
there
know.
was like a struggle or something.
the
The problem is the story doesn't. You can't find anything. I mean, up to this point, we always said that there was a rumored brothel. Okay, now it's come out. Yeah, there were bathhouses behind the Klondike where women of ill repute were said to work. So, okay. So now we know for a fact there was a brothel. And it was right there. So would the prostitute being killed by her jealous husband, would that story actually be true? I don't know. But I mean, a lot of other stories that are coming out of St. Helens are coming true. I mean, the rumors that you can't find anything about, it's all hush hush. I found an article on a boat that was going from Portland to Astoria, and I was telling you about it last night.
right.
The boat would go from Portland's Shanghai tunnels and go up and down to Columbia to Astoria to the Shanghai tunnels out there, and then it would take all the men that it was picking up. It would go across the bar. It would go out to sea and sell everybody off to sailing vessels out there. So up to
That's
that,
awful.
well, that's the thing is everybody was like, "Oh no. It Shanghaiing and prostitution have never happened in St. Helens." But yes, so there was a brothel, and yes, there was a boat that was actually caught just before Rainier because it broke down, and when they went on board to help out, they found a bunch of men downstairs that were in shackles being shanghaied.
I got this second one loaded up
Okay.
from the. This one had the evil sounds in it. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can get the sounds to work here.
And this was the room where I saw the little kid. This one here, when we were coming down to go to the basement, this is where I saw the little kid. Yeah.
And
We don't have sound on that. It's doubling up.
Okay.
Not quite sure why. But it was pretty creepy sound, which is I really wanted to hear it. let me see if I can mute you and play the sound.
Okay.
It's creepy.
All right, I'm going on down.
Yep. Malfunction.
You had a malfunction?
Malfunction.
What's going on?
My
Yeah, that was a creepy one. So you're unmuted now.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you can see by the video that the second floor is really harsh. There actually is we didn't tell you about this one. We got to see it when we were up there. There's an apartment up there that someone was living in this apartment on the second floor in the 90s.
what?
She was working there and living upstairs. There's a little apartment way in the back corner.
Is any of her stuff still there, or is it just?
Well, there's no bed. It's just a couple chairs. There's a full bathroom.
Oh yeah, I walked
Wow.
into that right before heading down. I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Bathroom in here?"
That somebody had been living up there.
So working there and then living there. So obviously maybe they were going through hard times, needed a job, and then they had nowhere to go, and then they were able to
Apparently, the owners at the time
decide
knew
to
about it.
let her live there. I don't know.
Apparently, but then they got found out and she got kicked out.
Is it illegal to have an apartment?
Yeah,
there?
because
Well, that
it's not rated for.
it was kind of almost condemned.
Yeah, the upstairs
Yeah.
is pretty much condemned. It's not rated for
Oh,
living.
okay.
stay
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
because it needs a lot of work to be done.
a lot.
Yeah, but that's where the entire power outlet is in that apartment. So
Oh.
all the lights and everything he's got running upstairs to illuminate the outdoor lights
Is
and look
from that
it's
little
from-
apartment
From
it's
because
that
from that
room.
that's
apartment.
Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense because that's where everything, probably power outlets and everything else that
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, so we'll have to remember that if we ever get a chance to do a full-on investigation to keep that area as maybe a base station.
Yeah. Basically.
Sorry about the audio problem there on the video. New system, new things. But we'll have the other two videos after your first break. So
Okay.
looks like we'll have them.
Nice.
But yeah, so should we discuss what had happened last night?
Well, yeah. Well,
You know, the fact that
Downstairs?
we scared the crap out of two of the girls.
Jeez.
Yeah, because that seems to be the
I'm sorry, that was so funny. They're like, "Peace out, we're leaving like 10 minutes early."
oh yeah,
that was that last group, right?
The
Yeah, that
last
was the
two.
last
Yeah,
group.
yeah.
And then the lady that's
could do
running it, well, it came down. Didn't she come down and was like, what'd they do? Leave like 10, 15 minutes early?
Yeah, they were not happy. They didn't want to stick around.
Well, yeah, well, that one, especially that one, because she used to work there.
Yeah, and the other one, the abortion room that nobody was supposed to go into, and she got kind of ahead of me and got in there.
Yeah.
But if she had not gotten in there, we would not have found the tunnel. Because in the blueprints, it actually says crawl space.
And you were able to see it, right? You were able to get
Yeah.
eyes on it a little bit.
Yeah, I went in
Yeah.
and you see a little door with frames.
Yeah.
But there's a gap in it. So I was able to put my light in
Mm.
there, and it goes back there a little ways.
Well, it sounds like we can maybe peek at that more tonight. We just can't go into the room.
Yeah, because
You can look into the room. That's how come he put that cart there. So
well,
you
the
could-
problem is there's asbestos lining up on some of the
on the
on the
pipes
pipes
is what
and
he
stuff, yeah.
said. Yeah.
that they need to clean out.
Yeah.
But everybody that I've talked to that has ever come in contact does not like that room. Even the groundskeeper, when it was up for sale.
Well, the lady that that used to work there last night even said, she couldn't go in that room. She was scared of that room. And then when we told her what it was, that it was actually an abortion room, she was like, oh, well, that makes a little bit more sense on why I couldn't physically make myself go in.
Well, that's what the legend is that it's the abortion room. Till we find
it has to
hard.
be something because there's, even if it's not the abortion room, something is there because it's deterring so many people. And there's all these stories of people that work there that just have been freaked out of that room. So, or not wanting to go there, or not wanting to do the laundry, or not wanting to be downstairs, period.
Right, but we don't know if it was actually the abortion room. We just know that nobody likes that room. That's the no-no room, as they said last night. That's the no-no room.
Yep, the no room.
So I think what we need to do is
I just thought it was funny that he let you guys go in, and then he kind of almost whispered to me, they shouldn't be in there. And I was like, okay, well, tell them. Why aren't you say something? Stop talking about. I was like, Darrin, get out of there.
Yeah, my entire plan with that one was to get to the door, block it, so she can look in. Because
But
we
not
can look
actually go.
in, but she couldn't go
Well,
in
now they
itself.
put that cart there, so now
Right.
it's not. We're not going to be able to.
Right, and then
then I think from now on, tonight, if more people go over there, just be like, hey, can't go in. You can look in, but you can't go in.
well, we'll just have to specify. I didn't think she was actually going to go.
Yeah.
She was like Daredevil compared to the two. Her friend was like, wait, no, don't go in there. Don't leave me by myself. And then she was kind of looking at me and looking towards the room. Of course she would go in there. And I'm like, well, that's all right. You're all right. Just hang out right here. She
Yes.
was totally not happy with her friend leaving her going in that room.
I mean, if she's not happy, why would you want to come back then? I mean,
I almost think this is my theory that her friend was the
Pushed
one
her-
that the Daredevil one was
pushed her into
come
it.
on,
Pushed her
let's
into
go.
it.
You used to work there. Let's go look at it. I
Mm.
mean, it's we can
Maybe-
see real ghost investigators, and
Maybe she might, have different feelings, or intuitions or whatever.
Maybe she just started feeling more scared once she got there. Like maybe at first she was like, I got this. And then as soon as she got there, she was like,
bringing
nope.
up all those memories
Nope, I'm done.
and things like that. Yeah, she was out.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time we've had people pay for something and then just bail after a while.
Well, you know, it kind of gave us a little more time to do what we do down there. Yeah.
One of my friends has already said she wants to go on an investigation with us, but she's like, don't be surprised if I dip out. Like, I'll be gone if something freaky happens. I was like, well, why go? Like, because obviously something's probably going to happen.
Well, hopefully happen.
I know it doesn't always happen, but.
Well, you know, and one thing with last night, you know, that fly trap, that thing, you know, I want to check that out a little more tonight to see if that generator down there is actually.
Well, I had tagged you on Facebook about it. We might have to bring that video in or shoot more video tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. The compressor was on when we first got there.
Right.
But the fly trap wasn't moving.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So, yeah, because I tagged you on that. I'm like, okay, it wasn't moving when we first got in and we're shooting video.
And the fact that I was like, okay, can you make it keep spinning? And then it kind of did a little bit. And then I said, okay, now can you make it stop? And then literally like it spun a little bit and then stopped like that, you know, like mid stop. Normally something like that, if it's spinning or rocking, it's going to continue to rock and spin just a little bit.
Right,
you know what I mean? Not just stop.
All right. No,
So,
you know, I'm just kind of, I was thinking, trying to do a little more debunking on it. You know,
right.
I put my hand down there. It had good airflow. And
yeah,
I'm like,
it was moving the
away
cobwebs.
and away. And I'm like, well, you know, it's all the way down here. And that's, you know, way up here. Is that air going to actually make it up there to get the twist?
Yeah, the old cobwebs are moving when that's going on.
Right, but wasn't it not that really that strong of a wind though? Because didn't you go up and feel it?
And it wasn't really a strong wind.
It wasn't like causing that strong. I would think. I mean, I know that probably the fly trap isn't that heavy, but I would think that it probably wouldn't make it spin like that. I mean, I don't know.
We'll just have to investigate.
It's one of those things. You know, I even brought up that maybe it was people upstairs walking, and it wasn't that because they were walking right above it, and I was standing right next to that fly trap. So
we were watching it. So
all right, we are going to go to a break. We'll come back with more videos and more on the Klondike and the hauntings that go on there.
back to Paranormal Crossings Into the Light as we continue our discussion into the hauntings of the Klondike and everything else that's going on there.
Mhm.
Wild night.
Now, I believe that when we were talking to Holcomb, we did say something, and it kind of resonates
Mhm.
that the Klondike chose him. Because
Yes.
like you'll see in our interview with him, he was actually at the restaurant across the street
With his real estate agent.
with his real estate agent. They
looking at other properties.
Yeah, looking at other properties, and he happened to look up and was like, "How about that one?
Building for sale.
How about that one?"
Yeah.
And that's just coincidence again.
No such thing.
No, he was there for a reason. It happened
Yeah.
for a reason. For
And then-
sure.
Yeah.
Because
And then-
all the stuff that he wants to do with that place, like, it's going to bring that building back to life. So it definitely was for a reason.
Well, like I told Holcomb, once you get the hotel up and running, this thing is going to be booked solid.
Right? He's going to have a hard time having openings, I think.
It's going to be like the Twilight House in St. Helens, booked a year out, easy.
Easy.
And I said, after a while, man, it's going to be like the Stanley,
Yep. Absolutely.
because it's just one of those iconic buildings that everybody knows. Paranormal,
Mhm.
anything else.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, if he was to do any kind of a tour thing or whatnot, that it would be kind of almost difficult in a way. If you get the restaurant that's going to be open all the time, and then the upper two floors as the hotel, you know, you're not going to want to take people up and down those corridors trying to catch something when you got guests in those rooms trying to, you know, relax, sleep, whatever. Yeah, I mean, the basement maybe, but if that basement is 5-10 minutes.
Well, I mean, it'd be
On a normal, maybe, inexperienced.
Well, if
group of
we
people.
happen to talk to our friends from White Light and Kenton Station,
Once a month kind of a deal?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That would be
because
if anything, that would be the way to go.
I
And
know,
then maybe what they could do is, or Holcomb can do, is like have it like known that on this night there's going to be an investigation, and so the guests are like aware that there's going to be stuff going on.
well,
I don't know, but
Yeah.
maybe, just so they have an idea, and then just be like, be aware there's going to be this going on, and so this might be what you hear.
well, his game plan that he was talking about was to sell a dinner package.
Which is amazing. He wants to do many, as far as I know, not just for the paranormal stuff, but just like for musical stuff. So like a concert and dinner. So it's not just
Yeah.
going to be like a,
Well, I'm just saying for the paranormal biz,
yeah.
okay, you're going to pay for dinner, you're going to get, and he's talking a full course meals.
Absolutely. Jeez.
Which is so cool. I'm so excited.
So you would come in,
I like food.
it would be like
I do.
a food and wine type dinner, and then the paranormal investigators would kind of go over stuff, maybe show videos and whatnot,
Videos, show equipment, and how we use them.
and then maybe walk them down. So I mean, it could easily, if you were doing dinner and then the investigators were there, you could easily make that into an hour-long thing, because everybody's going to be eating. You got your salad, your appetizers, your main course, desserts,
and all the drinks.
all the drinks. You could easily fill that place,
Absolutely.
and then that's a good hour.
We're going to be there every freaking weekend. I'm just kidding.
Nah.
Are you kidding? We'd love to be there every single weekend. Problem is, there's too many places in St. Helens, Columbia County that we would love to investigate.
Mhm.
And now with COVID kind of starting to go away and everything opening up, maybe we can get into some of these buildings.
Right.
I know I went to work Wednesday night. It was my Friday. And I looked at my boss and I said, "You were lucky I did not call in." I'm like, "You understand? I was on a case. We were given the upstairs. We were given the
Right.
upstairs." Holcomb went downstairs to take a phone call. We had
The
two-
whole 2 floors.
2 floors to ourselves. Okay, guys, watch these steps. Watch this over there. Have fun. I got to make a phone call. Come down when you're done.
Yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have been there
What?
even longer. Yeah.
I would have loved to have been there. Stupid work.
Yeah. and then I have to go to work. I have to leave, and it's like,
At least you got to go.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
But you can hear it in the one video where I'm kind of giddy because I'm like, we're supposed to be down to rehearsal.
That's
Right.
what they play. He played that
Yeah.
video. That's why I was like, wow, you sound really giddy.
Because we had the upstairs. We should have been downstairs waiting on everybody to show
yeah.
up for rehearsal.
Yeah.
But
Oh, well.
well, they got down. Everybody got there for the theater group, showed us where we're going to be, told us what we're going to be doing. Okay. I got to go to work. See you. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like we had any lines we have to learn or whatever else because our part's unscripted. So
It always will be unscripted.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, after 4 long years to get back in there, like I said, when he left us there, we were giddy. And obviously, by you were just as giddy. I'm sorry, Kelly, you weren't there.
I know. I would have been. I totally would have been. But,
But
I don't think my boss would have been very happy if I was like, I need to call out or leave work early, so I can do
Yeah.
a paranormal investigation.
But
He would have been like, no.
definitely happy to be back in there. And now we're back in there for the next few weekends at least, minimum.
And it's almost like the building, everything just worked
Calls.
out. It calls to
Yeah.
us.
I mean, and Wednesday when we left, I was telling Aaron, I'm like looking at the building. I was looking at the 3rd floor, and it was almost like my last house that Heidi and I were in, because it was also haunted.
Yeah.
And I would leave every morning, and the attic window, I'd always be staring at that window. It was almost the same thing at the Klondike. I was staring at 2 windows. I'm like, something's right there. I'm been drawn to those windows, and it happened to be room 310, and the one right across from it, where Aaron and I also had our experience there. And I'm even getting chills talking about it. That's how it is. Paranormal stuff, you get really excited, and
Well, especially when the spirits are actually talking to you.
Mhm.
I don't have any video of it, but Holcomb and I were in 310, and I was explaining things, and the spirit box actually said Holcomb.
Yeah. Didn't it also say that
It
last
said
night?
it last night as
Yeah.
well.
A couple
yes.
times.
A couple times it said
Yeah.
Holcomb.
So
So
they're
maybe-
aware. They're aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Want to play another video?
Yeah.
All right, Russian roulette.
We get this.
All right, let's see if this one will work.
These ones should be from.
We would break out some of our paranormal equipment. This is a K2 meter, so if there's any spirits here that would like to communicate with us, you could use this device by getting close to it, and if you do, then your energy will make these lights go off. We have 2, one that's a little further away from me, and then this one here. You got something? To my right? Which is weird because my left hand is tingling, not my right.
Well, I have to look through this. It's like reverse. So when I'm looking at you, you're right.
So what were we looking at there?
Just we were in the dining room or in the restaurant part at a table where we were sitting up for the interview with Holcomb, and I just pulled that out. There's SOS is the
Structured light sensor.
Yes, so, thanks. So it's basically a stick figures. It helps.
We would break out some of our paranormal equipment. This is a K2 meter, so if there
Or an entity.
we would break out some of our paranormal equipment. This is a K2 meter, so if there's any spirits here that would like to communicate with us, you could use this device by getting close to it, and if you do, then your energy will make these lights go off. We have 2, one that's a little further away from me, and then this one here. You got something? To my right? Which is weird because my left hand is tingling, not my right.
Well, I have to look through this. It's like reverse. So when I'm looking at you, you're right.
So it's my right?
So no. So when I'm
My
looking
left.
at your left is my right.
Okay, so it's my left side. My left side is tingling
Well,
so bad.
what I'm seeing is towards the window. So
It's on your left side. So you're right. I'm looking. It's like reverse. So
Okay. So it's close to the window?
yes, yes.
Okay.
It's like it's
Yeah.
sitting in those chairs.
Over here?
Uh-huh.
Would you like to be interviewed? We would love to hear what you have to say. My name is Darrin. This is James.
So that was kind of exciting, you know. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I played with or used the SLS camera
Yeah.
on anything. So
That's so cool.
yeah, I couldn't get the record function on the SLS to work, so I was using my phone to record that off of there. But
It works.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, like you said, you guys were giddy about it. And we've got the whole place to ourselves. We can,
yeah, and no one there, and we caught that little bit just in those few minutes, and then a little bit later we can, and a little bit later we could play that other one, and you know, there's that. But yeah, it was just fantastic all the way around.
yeah, those spirits really do enjoy talking to us about things.
Oh yeah, and you know, as you heard, you know, Aaron was talking to whoever, and he had his audio recorder there, so I'm anxious to hear what Aaron caught on that.
Yeah, and that'll all be on next week's show. And then of course I think people are going to get tired of us talking about the Klondike and St. Helens, and don't worry.
Well, you gotta understand it's Halloween Town, so
Mm-hmm.
that's right there, you know,
And it's the fact it's the Klondike, and
right.
we're back in. We're experiencing things. Don't worry, everybody. We've got other Columbia County stories that we'll probably beat to death like a dead horse. Pisgah House. That's going to have to happen down the road.
Yeah, another run up there.
Yeah, we got to do another run up to Pisgah.
I wasn't with you the first time, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, but unlike the Pisgah House, which has a lot of controversy around it, which I'm finding, so the Klondike has a connection to one of the other Columbia County buildings we've investigated a numerous amount of times.
Which one is that?
City Hall.
What?
Yes, there is a connection between City Hall
And the Klondike.
and the Klondike.
And do tell, what is this
Well,
connection?
Charles and James Muckle built the Klondike. They moved the Opera House down. They built the annex, the Klondike. And that was after their shares of the lumberyard burned down in 1904. They got out of the lumber business, got into the hotel business to take care of the next people in the lumber mill. They built the building that's behind, called the Muckle Building, behind the Klondike. So they own pretty much that block. Charles Muckle's niece comes over from, I believe it was Missouri, and marries one of the Ross brothers, who is the furniture salesman and the funeral director, whose office was in City Hall. Because the Rosses were big, the Muckles were big, they were big families that were building St. Helens. So out of all the big name families that were running the place, you've got the Muckles and the Rosses now married together, running giant stretches of old downtown.
Wow.
So I mean, how is that kind of weird that the Muckles get married to the Rosses, who basically are running the banks, doctors' offices. I think they're also running the post office. And then you got the Muckles running the hotel businesses.
Nice. Dynasties. Holy cow.
And now they're all just a memory. So all those dynasties that were there, the people that built up St. Helens from the ground floor,
They're gone.
yeah. But I have never met a Muckle, a Ross, a Knighton, Condon.
Really?
All those old families, you can only find them in the cemeteries.
Wow.
Because those lineages have just faded away.
Moved out.
Moved
Wow.
out, died off.
Such a shame.
Yeah, that's sad.
And they're taking all that history, all the family history, it's all gone.
Now I'm depressed. Thanks.
Right? That's sad.
Oh my gosh. But dang, all the history gone. I mean,
Luckily, I mean, there's still a lot of history there that once, I mean, I was born and raised in St. Helens. Born in 1971 in the hospital in St. Helens.
When there was a hospital.
When there was, well, there's a clinic.
Well, yeah, but
The hospital building is still there. And when it was the clinic and the urgent care, funny, it's a little side story on that one. I know what room I was born in. So later on down the road, it was turned into the urgent care. It was, you know, I was born in bay number 2.
bay number
Bay
two,
number 2.
dang.
Bay number 2. It was just a big open area, and they got curtains separating it, so there's like 2 beds in each bay. So I was born in bay number 2. And
Bay number 2, is it Bay 1A or 2A?
well, there's
that's funny.
bay 1, bay 2, bay 3, bay 4.
Well, yeah.
So
It's just funny to have it be called a bay. Like,
that's what they called it. Instead
That's
of a
hilarious.
room, they were like, okay.
I think of like a truck bay at that point, when I hear bay. So that's just funny.
It is what it is. But yeah, I was severely dehydrated, and at that point, hypochondria was taking over, and I'm like, great, I'm going to die in the same room I was born in. But no, growing up in St. Helens, never knew the history of a lot of these buildings.
Right.
Never paid it any mind. All the cemeteries with all the historical figures of the town, the buildings themselves, how they've gone from, okay, this was this place, then it was a J.C. Penney, then it was a Sears, then it was the bank, and then it was the post office. And then we're going to go back over to here. And like the place I used to work at, Fat Boys Pizza, it's still down there. That used to be the car dealership. And when I was working there, there's a door in the back that goes into the big garage space. And up to that point growing up, I never knew how big that building really was because it's a big showroom in the back. So you go through that door and it's a giant garage that takes up 3 buildings.
That's crazy.
But you would never know that. I mean, you go downtown St. Helens for Spirit of Halloween Town.
Right.
Most people look at buildings, oh, this was done in Twilight, this was Halloween Town, the movie, yada, yada, yada. Then you start looking at the other places and you're like, okay, there used to be, like in Twilight, there's the alleyway scene. Bella's going down this dark alleyway. Yeah, grew up in that alleyway. Always used to walk that dark, scary alleyway all the time. Walk from my parents' house, walk downtown, go through this dark ass alley. We even called it a dark ass alley. I mean, we used to play hide and seek in downtown in all the alleyways.
Wow.
Halloween time, we do scavenger hunts and hide in these alleyways. But then you find out, okay, you're going all through all the history books. You're learning what was actually here. Okay, this dark ass hallway, this alleyway, this between 2 random ass buildings. Oh, that went up to the other theater that was behind all the buildings on the street. So like in a Twilight movie, when Edward comes in and he chases the guys away because they're hassling Bella because she's come up that dark ass alleyway. That parking lot used to be another theater. There was a theater across the street, the Columbia Theater. There was another theater behind all that. So, I mean, you look at history of the place and you're like, okay, this wasn't just a parking lot. This used to be another theater. Vaudeville acts, that kind of stuff back in the early 1900s. And then you start looking at it going, wow, I never knew this stuff existed.
Well, it's a shame that, cities and whatnot turn property like that into parking lots. You lose the history of what was there. You know, it's you should. I mean, if it's really into that, if that building or property has significant importance to the city or what, you would want to try and preserve it. You know,
You would
I
think.
mean, you would think. I mean, that's what I kind of liked about downtown St. Helens. I love all that stuff there. I mean, you could
It's a
tell.
really cool town.
You could tell that St. Helens wants to try to preserve and bring back, you know, get revitalized and you know, make it more inviting, comfortable, inviting, whatever, you know, for people to come and visit, hopefully move, stay, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. But I wish they would do more of protecting buildings or landmarks so people can say, hey, you know, this is what happened then, and have that visualization of
Mhm.
what it was or what it could have been. You know, I said, oh, hey, this parking lot used to be this. You look at a parking lot and you're like,
Cool.
for all I know, it could have been there forever. And you're just saying it was something, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, I mean, you could easily take St. Helens and borrow a page out of Rocky Smith and his Oregon City tours. And if you had the time and the money to put into it, you could walk around and you could talk about this building here used to be this and this and this and this. You know how many buildings downtown used to be mortuaries? And if people actually stopped and looked at it and went, oh, the mortuary used to be here. They used to do embalming here. Masonic building used to be the mortuary.
So I was going to say, you know what I'm going to ask, right?
Yes.
How many buildings?
The Masonic used to be the mortuary downstairs. The Masonic lodge was upstairs.
Okay.
So that might account for a lot of the spirits that are downstairs.
Mhm.
The building across the little parking lot there, the 2Cs, used to be the mortuary. Dr. Ross, when he was moving his practice, there's a building across the street next to the Columbia Theater. That was his first mortuary embalming furniture store.
Say that again?
Mortuary embalming furniture store.
Who would?
What?
It was
it
was a
destroys you there.
one-stop shopping.
Open 24 hours.
Open 24 hours. Come on in. Buy a chair, buy a table, buy a coffin, and
And
hey,
We have
Free embalming.
free embalming.
we have stiff deals.
That's awesome.
So we moved it from one building. They built the 2Cs. He moved over there. This is all before City Hall was built. So all the buildings downtown, all wood. He's moving around. Okay, I'm going to move here. I'm going to move over to the Pythian building. The Pythians were like the Masonics. They had the upstairs meeting area. So he moved into the basement there. They built the Mason building. He moved to the Mason building. Then somewhere along the line, the Ross brothers decided, you know what, we're building our own. And they built it out of stone because of the 1904 fire.
Right.
That's why some of the buildings downtown St. Helens are built of stone. They were
City
like,
Hall and
Yeah.
Old courthouse.
we're tired of it built. We're tired of it burning. And obviously they had the idea that somebody's going to try and light us on fire again. Again, going back to the coincidence.
Yeah.
There's fires, disrupts our commercial enterprises. Now they're building everything out of stone,
Yeah,
so it
kinda
doesn't burn.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if that fire didn't happen and the dredging didn't put that little island out there, what St. Helens would look like today.
It probably would have been a lot bigger.
Well, yeah,
I know that
but
one of the schooners that St. Helens built is down in, I believe it's San Diego, in a dry dock.
really,
Something that was built in 1915, I believe it is.
and it's sitting in a dry dock, just
It's sitting in a dry dock. They were trying to refurbish it in 98, and they ran into problems with money.
financial issues.
Yeah, but it's still down there. But they said to refurbish the entire thing, they'd almost have to rebuild the entire thing because it's so old.
Well,
And
yeah,
the schooners were always having breakdowns, wrecks, sinking, pulling them back up, patching them, getting them back out on the river, sinking again. I mean, the one that's down in California, there's the Lewis River right across from St. Helens that goes up into Washington. The same thing kept hitting barges, and I think it was 1908. Hit a barge, sank, they brought it back, fixed it, up and down the river, up and down the river, go up the Lewis River, hit something, sink, bring it back up, patch it. It's a miracle that it's even still in one piece at this point.
Wow.
But
See, part of St. Helens history I didn't know about.
neither did I.
Dang.
So if you're in St. Helens and you look across at the tip of Sauvies Island,
Yep.
there's all these pylons and everything else. I always thought I was told it was a fishing cannery place, canning factory. That was the old shipyard. All the shipyard was on the Sauvies Island. Everything on St. Helens side was lumber, rocks, all basalt, because the entire county is pretty much sitting on a layer of basalt from all the volcanic eruptions. So they went through and they just had mines everywhere. So they would ship them out because it was like, oh yeah, these are perfect hexagon columns of rock. So we're going to use these to build for everything. And they would just start just tearing in the bluffs along the way and then ship them out. So on the St. Helens side, you had your lumber, you had your rocks being shipped out across the way there. You had the shipyards. It was a bustling activity. But we're going to talk more about that when we get back, and some of our videos, Russian roulette style.
The last video.
The last video, we will see you when we get back.
Nice. All right, welcome back to Paranormal Crossings Into the Light as we continue our lovely discussion on the Klondike and some of the history of Columbia County.
Yes, because we're only scratching the absolute surface.
Yes.
Because there's so much going on in town. We could easily do a year-long review on each building.
Mm-hmm.
The happenings, the tragedies, the stories, the myths, the legends. Right. But we're not talking about all that. We're talking about the Klondike because
absolutely,
the Klondike is just one of those places. It's an iconic building.
And it's on its way back to its former glory.
Yes. And we wish Holcomb nothing but the best in getting that up and running. We did discuss what we found on the history books on how the building was set up.
Mhm.
That it was hardwood floors,
Right.
carpet runners everywhere, metal frames. Inside every room was the vanity, a sink, a dresser, an end table.
Maybe a chair.
Maybe could have been a chair.
Well, I would think.
But Holcomb did hit us with something that I didn't even know. Was that the power and all the heating elements
Yes. Holy
came
cow.
from the lumber mill? It was trucked up. So as the lumber mill is making all the steam power,
Mhm.
it's being funneled up the block. Every room had a metal heater,
Radiator.
a
like
radiator style heater inside all the rooms. And if you go in, we can point out where all we should
Where-
get that on camera next time.
Yeah.
You can see the little pipes in all the corners.
in the
Interesting.
floors, yeah.
Huh.
So it was fully heated and ran by the lumber mills. It
That's
generated
insane.
power, generated heat.
Absolutely. Yeah, that when he mentioned that, I think we all just like, what?
Yeah, because I hadn't found anything on that. So Holcomb was ahead of us on the game, and to have your building be independent
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
on heat, on power, because it's running off of the lumber yard. You're saving money.
Right?
The Muckles, when they built that building and
They
they
knew
put
what
that,
they were doing.
They were smart.
they were smart
Yeah.
because they knew they wanted to have a foothold in the city.
Yep.
But I think it's time for Russian roulette again.
The Russian roulette.
Throwing up a random video.
Another.
So this when this goes up, it will mute your microphones.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
And now it's gone.
Really?
Yeah. Probably just want to see what's going on.
Checking this out. Hello. Hey, I'm getting ready to do an interview and film it, and so I'm not going to be home probably till about 11 o'clock tonight. I'm out in St. Helens right now. No, that's all right. I just want to at least let you know what I'm doing. So, but I got to get going. We're getting ready to do the interview here in like in just a minute. So. Oh, you did? Good. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you guys hooked up finally. So, all right, man. Listen, I gotta go. So, but let me know how. Text me or something. Let me know how it went. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Bye. What?
Come around my right side. Let's see if this goes away.
Me?
Yeah. Oh,
Did it go away?
yeah. Dang.
Were they?
He's like, peace out.
And there it goes. That's it.
That's so cool.
I mean, how awesome was that? Just to catch that.
Yeah. Just a little dancing.
Yeah, it was just and nothing there.
The thing is, there is supposed to be a young boy
There is
in the
there
room.
is a young boy there. When we were there 4 years ago for the fundraiser, my stepdaughter felt the presence of a young boy. I believe it was on the third.
Second floor, coming down the stairs. Because she,
Yeah,
if I remember, she came around.
No, it was up. It was on the third
It was up
floor.
on the third?
Yeah, because we're at one room where Aaron was in as we were getting ready to come down with the plastic around it.
Okay.
We were all gathered right there. She kind of freaked out.
I remember
and
that.
felt,
Yeah, because I remember coming down the staircase to the second, and he was in that room peeking out.
he probably said it to join us on the third, and then that
I kind of get the feeling that the spirits in the building are free to go about where they want to go.
Yeah.
Now I've heard some reports. If you get on YouTube and you look up Klondike Hotel, you're going to get a bunch of paranormal cases.
Yeah, I
Because I mean,
noticed that.
that was one of the points of past owners is if you came in and said, "Listen, I'd like to do an investigation," they'd let you in.
Yeah, could you plug in there?
And I mean, a lot of people are like, "Okay, yeah, I've seen some videos where people are like, oh yeah, these are residual hauntings. We just think it's just the spirits are just kind of replaying their time." I've heard some people actually put up some good evidence, and they're like, "Yep, these are intelligent."
Well, just from our what we've done at the Klondike, that's obviously intelligent. It's definitely not residue. No way.
There might be a combination of
Maybe.
Maybe both. Yeah, I can't get that sense that there's
Maybe. Well, there's definitely intelligence there.
for sure.
Yeah, 'cause they know Hulk. They said his name what 2-3 times
Two,
last
three
night.
times. Yep.
So I mean, we know that there are spirits that are aware of what's going on.
They just want to see what's going on, and they'll let you know if they like it or not like it.
Now I know when we were there with just Aaron, and we were having lunch. Aaron was trying to reach out, see what he would, and I was reaching out with whatever abilities I have to see what I could feel in the area. And what I'm getting is some of the spirits are happy. The building's open. They got the piano player. It's bringing life to the building. I think that the little boy spirit is happy. There's music. There's people laughing. It's a good place to be. It's the man in the bar who, even last night we were told, yeah, you will see a glass off the bar.
I would actually love to see that.
Me too. That'd
That-
be so cool.
yeah.
Well, this is why we need to get more surveillance on certain places.
You and I have talked extensively on that. So
Yeah.
let's try and work on that.
Because I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and the more that you start to remodel a place, it seems to stir up the energy a
It
little
does.
more. So I do believe now, because he's painting, he's fixing, he's repairing.
Well, didn't they say that last night that one of the spirits knocked over the paint, right?
Yeah, that was Malcolm's boyfriend who was up painting, and he felt something grab his leg, tickle his leg. And
Oh, and then he spilled the paint.
yeah, he spilled the paint because he kind of freaked out. Was like, what? What?
Oh, and there was something last night too on the bar. What was that? Soap or something that kind of dripped on.
Yeah, it dripped all over
All the
down
way
the
down.
front. Yeah, it was the hand sanitizer.
Yeah, the hand sanitizer. Yeah.
And it sprung a leak. And it was one of the big jugs of
It
hand
was.
sanitizer.
Yeah, they didn't know how that happened. They looked over there and saw it there, and it ate away at the bar there. Besides, well, we need to refurnish, reface it anyway. Kind of helped them, but still, no one knew how it happened.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the interesting thing is, I would say some spirits are happy with it. Some are not happy. Some are not happy at all because their peace is being
Disturbed.
interrupted.
That building was vacant for what? 4 years?
4 years.
Something like that. So they
4
probably got
years,
used to the nice, quiet. Okay, this building's ours. And now all of a sudden it's thrown back into life.
Well, I definitely think the older gentleman in the bar is the one because Holcomb was talking about as he's going up and down the stairs to turn off everything at midnight. It's like midnight, I got to go up all the way to the third floor to turn everything off. He's like, and there's been a couple of times he's heard, kind of right over his shoulder. He's got the feeling that someone's trying to push him over down the
Ugh.
staircase.
Oof, that's
Yeah, so I think it's just one main spirit who is just really angry with how things are going.
probably
Probably
sure.
because he's the one that smashes all the glasses. Even the previous owners were talking about, yeah, in the bar, glasses will fly off the bar and smash all over the place. Come in, broken glass everywhere. Yeah, something is smashing glasses. So at some point, I put that out and say, hey, we put a camera over the
Multiple
bar.
cameras.
See what happens.
Put some TVs everywhere for the viewing public. Be like, okay, so here's the bar view. If you want to see what's going on,
There's a basement view. Upstairs. Mm.
that would be the interesting thing. If we can firmly document which rooms have all the activity, then when he actually makes it into the hotel and it's functioning, then you can probably charge more for
I
the
was just
room.
gonna, I didn't want to say it, but you went ahead and said it. Yeah. Whatever room's got the activity, most activity, obviously someone's going to charge more. Stanley does it. That's I know
217, isn't it?
217. Yeah. And
It makes
on the
sense.
fourth floor, I want to say it's 408. Those
Yeah.
two are the higher paid. I think I stayed. That was
Like
like a lot.
Glacier Grand Hotel in Eastern Oregon. Their big
Oh, yeah.
haunted room.
I haven't been there. I've been by it. I've never stayed there yet.
We can do a little.
It's on a bucket
Let me tell you about the Glacier Grand.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna
We're gonna sidestep from the Klondike
we're gonna
to Glacier
we're gonna
Grand.
sidestep from the Glacier from the Klondike for a second to go to Glacier. So 2002, I'm on a crossroad trip, going cross country, going over to Montana, up to Canada. We stopped at Glacier Grand for lunch. We're sitting there, and I see something on the corner of my eye. It's a little bit light. You know what? I'm gonna follow this. So I went upstairs, up to the third floor. Followed this. She went into her room. It was locked. I had never been to a Glacier Grand, never knew any of this stuff. It was one of the corner rooms where they say everything is not haunted. So I get up. Weird. Sit around for a little bit longer. Wait. Okay. This is different. Go back downstairs. Food. Car. Take off. I don't really think much about this for another, 6 months or so. And a buddy of mine says, "Oh, hey, man, Glacier Grand. It's haunted." Yeah, I sat there for food on my journey. Yeah, apparently there's a woman in white up on the next floor, and this is the room. And I'm like, yeah, well, I saw her just going up the staircase and felt the need to follow her. And I went to that room, and it was locked. I couldn't get in. Like, oh, yeah, that's, she's supposed to be haunting on the corner. Blah, 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 blah. But I think the Klondike, since you're always looking up at the windows,
I don't know. I don't know why it would be. It's windows. My last house I've lived in, Klondike. It's the windows. I don't know.
well, I do know that whenever we've gone to the Plymouth Pub, this was when the Klondike was still closed. I get into that little staring, 1,000-yard stare, and I'm eating a burger or fish and chips, whatever. I just stare at the windows, be looking at the Klondike. Just, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm listening. Go ahead, talk to me, show me.
Right.
I mean, the other paranormal group in Columbia County, who's I believe now defunct, on their webpage, they actually had a picture of somebody post one of the windows. And of course, I had to look at it. Came up, I'm like, okay. Well, I found out exactly where they took the picture. Now, I'll have to show you.
Okay.
But I knew where they were standing because I took the picture, I saved it on the phone, I matched it up. I'm like, yeah, all right. I got to be be a little bit more over, a little bit more over. Okay, and there's this.
Are you trying to say they faked that photo?
That photo is actually an old Christmas decoration.
No way.
If you're there at night before it was Holcomb bought it and everything else, looked up at that window, it was one of those white Christmas tree decorations, and it was just sitting over in the corner. And if you're at that angle,
It makes it look like somebody's
it
there.
makes it look like there's a white figure in the window.
Oh,
It's just like, okay, yeah, if you come back during the daylight hours,
you can see it.
you can tell. You can see it's always there. Yeah, because they're like, oh my God, we saw something here, and
Did you try to debunk that? Did you try to figure out what it is? Probably not.
they just took a picture.
Because they couldn't get in there to.
Well,
They
like-
just automatically assume.
Just one of those things that we went back during the afternoon. I think we actually went back the next day, to where I could still see their footprints in the little patch of dirt. And like I
That's
said,
nice.
if you size it all up and you look at, okay, this tree is here, this tree is here, and you size everything up, and then you look in that window and you're like, that is a Christmas tree. That is not a ghost. It was high noon when we were there.
And it makes you wonder about some of these groups like that. You know, I mean, granted, like me, it's just kind of started late, but I've been with groups, so I know. You gotta do your due diligence. Do it right.
Yeah, you can't just come out of with one photo.
One photo doesn't do anything. I mean, at least the memo.
Yeah, I mean, like last night, first group comes through, we tell them, sometimes if you watch those other paranormal shows, you're going to see a lot of stuff, but it's not all true, and we can't guarantee you're going to see anything or hear anything. But that first group, they did hear something. They were responsive to the spirits.
Oh yeah, and for us as paranormal investigators, it's kind of nice that people get into that and they want to know more, learn more, especially if it's history related. But hey, whatever they heard obviously was not bad. It was good. I didn't catch the whole conversation they had because I was checking out the other corner. But yeah, to be real receptive,
They
you
wanna
have to
come
come.
back.
You have to come with an open mind, and that's what they did. Now the second group, that one gal, obviously her mind was shut down, closed. Didn't want nothing up. Her friend seemed to have an
Daredevil, I'm
adventurous
telling ya.
mind.
Daredevil.
So
Yeah, let's go into the dark, scary abortion room where nobody likes. Let's just storm in there.
but it's really nice to see that people are coming with an open mind and willing to say, hey, yeah, there's possibly something here. And if they actually heard it, which these guys did, hey, yeah, maybe I'm a believer now.
Well, I know that they wanted to come back. The first group did. When the hotel opened, they wanted to come back and stay.
Well,
So-
yeah, I heard them briefly say that they've been in there a couple times
Yeah.
since.
Well-
I think when you were doing your mayoral thing there.
Yeah, they've first couple is actually part of the pirate crew.
That's why
From,
they look, or she looked familiar. 'Cause I
Yeah,
thought,
Captain Jack Sparrow, that's his crew.
yeah,
So they've been in there because one of the bartenders and the guy who actually brings the groups to us, Jesse. Jesse's a pirate too. So they all know each other. So yeah, she has a parrot that she's been bringing into the Klondike every weekend because she comes and hangs out. Pirate show with live cannon. The cannon fire outside on the riverside. Oh, yeah. Yeah, every weekend. Got the pirates with cannons and the
I gotta get down
flintlocks
here
and
more
black
often.
powder. Oh, yeah. But yeah, all those people are part of the pirates. So we've been talking about St. Helens, Oregon, Klondike. Thank you for joining us. I'm Darren,
I'm James.
Kayla.
and hopefully Aaron will be back next week. Thank you. See you then.